Lamar Jackson. The name itself will cause a litany of reactions. Most of them good, but there will be some snickering from the balcony. His situation has incited significant controversy. Rumors of him wanting the moon and then some in negotiations is the hot topic. The stalemate between player and team has reached critical mass, and the supposedly rich market for his services hasn't come to roost. Maybe because Baltimore would just match whatever offer a team signs Lamar to. As the days pass, it's a debate caught in trench warfare. Is Lamar Jackson worth the exorbitant sum he's demanding? For this video, I'm going to present both cases, one arguing for and one against it. Call it the Great Debate. While this video may be a debate, there is no contest with SeatGeek, the sponsor of this video. Over the past few days, I took a trip up to New York City for, let's call them business reasons. As I flew in the night before my event, I had some free time. So my first instinct was to go on SeatGeek to see if there was a game at the Garden. As the app aggregates all tickets available on the resale market, I noticed the Knicks were playing. So my quest began. Sorting from red to green on a 1 to 10 scale, plus a view from where I'd be sitting. The choices were limitless, but the real winner was me, for being able to purchase a ticket with ease and convenience. I unfortunately couldn't use the code TREE in the link below to save $20 off my first purchase, because this was obviously far from it. Just goes to show that SeatGeek has been my preferred choice for buying tickets long before I started being sponsored by them. But enough about that. On to the topic at hand. Lamar Jackson is worthy of being paid what he desires. Don't think about it, just get it done. We're talking about one of the most electrifying athletes in the game today. A man who is undeniably in the upper echelon of quarterbacks. With his ability to run the ball with lightning agility and top speed, there's one player who's even close to his comparable. Michael Vick. One of the most unique skill sets to deliver a team to glories unseen in their history. I know the argument. Oh, but he can't throw well. He's useless if he can't run. Have you seen some of the throws this man makes? That second half against Indianapolis in 2021? You're telling me that that's a guy that can't pass? He led Baltimore to victory kicking and screaming when they should have been dead to rights. Even the first half against Miami in 2022. If it weren't for terrible offensive play calling and a defense that folded, the story of that game would have been Lamar. He destroyed that supposedly improved Dolphins defense almost effortlessly. Blazing speed, a proficient arm, and a dynamic weapon on the field of play. My friends, this is peak Lamar Jackson. We're talking about an MVP winner at an extreme position of need. His 2022 was supposedly a down year and he still had a QBR around 60. Baltimore is foolish for pissing him off. The quarterback position is changing in front of our very eyes. We're entering a new age of football, one where mobility is at a premium. With Lamar's death-defying ability with his feet, and entering his prime at 26 years old, this is the poster child of the modern NFL. Do you know what teams will do for a quarterback of his caliber? They'll make knee-jerk, desperate moves to get them. Remember the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes? How many suitors he had for not playing in a year? It's supposed to be Lamar's fault that the Cleveland Browns were fucking idiots and threw him a shitload of money? They reset the market. Pandora's box of guaranteed money has been opened. And if we're being honest, Lamar was a lot better than Deshaun was last year. There aren't any glaring red flags with his character. Oh no, he can't perform with this shitty play calling? Baltimore's been doing such a good job pissing off skill players, it's become an art form for them. Dude doesn't have any receivers to throw to. Who does he have besides Mark Andrews? Rashad Bateman and Holly Drop Brown? Those impact free agent pickups of ancient history? Sammy Watkins, Des Bryant, and Deshaun Jackson? A great core, sure, in 2015. Such an impressive display of shit, I think you were talking about my toilet in the morning. Look at how the cap's been going up year over year. We all know that Lamar Jackson is worthy of being paid the big bucks. Don't worry about the supposed collusion going on. Someone's going to crack. You know what some owners love more than profit? Winning. Lamar Jackson will help a team win. This market's merely deflated because they don't want to allow Baltimore the favor of matching the deal while doing none of the work. Why do you think they put him on the transition tag? Because they still want him as their QB. They know that Lamar is their best chance at victory. Tyler Huntley's a Pro Bowler the same way my shit smells like roses. He's nowhere near Lamar's caliber and they know it. What happens with Baltimore without him? I don't know. They only built the damn offense around him. You do the math. So stop with the bullshit. We all know what you want to do with Lamar Jackson. Pay the fucking man. Just do it. Lombardi is that much closer to reality when pen is put to paper. his impact will be far more valuable than his salary. Period. Lamar's over his goddamn head as his own agent. Nobody sat Lamar down and said, "Hey man, you're out of your league here. There's trying to secure a bag and then there's being so unreasonable that you're turning off everyone who wants to pay you." Have you seen some of the numbers coming out of his camp? Over $100 million off from the Ravens' offer? Demanding a fully guaranteed contract greater than Deshaun Watson? In what right mind does he think he's worth $250 million guaranteed? Owners are rich, but they have limitations in liquidity. Don't get me wrong, I love Lamar Jackson and his game. But to tell me that I need to pay him that much after seeing his recent resume of work? I'm balking and walking back home. Yes, he was an MVP. Back in 2019. 4 years after, he's shown flashes of brilliance, but nothing consistent. You know what I point to for not paying him? 2021 against the Steelers and Browns. 2022 against the Bills and Giants. He was awful in those games. Terrible decision-making, kneecapped in production when forced to throw. Some incredibly mind-numbing passes where I sit there yelling, "Just throw it away, man!" His ceiling is high, but his floor is surprisingly low. Where is this MVP caliber player during the playoffs? He's been incredibly disappointing when he's needed to be at his best. Against the Chargers, defense forced him to throw, he was all but useless. Versus the Titans as the number 1 seed, fell flat in his face. Then again, the whole team did that day. The Bills the very next year, laid an egg when it mattered yet again. I hear the excuses coming now. He was young and he was playing good defenses. It doesn't matter when you want all that guaranteed money. I want results. The Ravens do too. These past few years, deep in playoff pushes where they need Lamar at his best, he hasn't been around. He's been injured in both seasons. To be fair, these injuries came when he was passing in the pocket, but it goes to show the fear that people have in mobile quarterbacks. If they lose their legs, they're no longer the same. Fair or not, everyone's gonna bring up RG3. He was a special player, until his knee was destroyed by the Redskins. Call it wage suppression, call it racism, call it whatever you want, but none of it's true. The Ravens have never been that kind of team to their stars. Would a racist team make Roquan Smith and Ronnie Stanley two of the highest paid players at their respective positions? Roquan's his own agent, so that argument's out the window too. You know what Baltimore fears more than injury for Lamar? Joe Flacco. Remember when he had that outstanding 2012? Dude was looking like one of the best QBs in the league at the time. He near single-handedly carried the Ravens to a Super Bowl title for crying out loud. And the team paid up and made him the highest paid player in the league at the time. All of it to never come back to that elite level. Flashes of brilliance followed by a frustrating check-down merchant. What was Baltimore's reward for paying up? An inability to get support around him and heart-crushing mediocrity. If Lamar falters after being paid, they're trapped in hell again. Teams aren't beating down the door because of some conspiracy. They have their own locker rooms to worry about. If they aren't guaranteed to get him, why piss off their current QB and leave another situation to deal with? Remember last year, Atlanta tried to go for Deshaun but failed. It cost them Matt Ryan in the process. It's extremely risky, and I don't blame anyone for staying away. Lamar, people want you as their QB. You're going to get paid. Just take a step down from your exorbitant demands and compromise. Dangerous games lead to dangerous prizes. Deshaun money was only given because Jimmy Haslam is a fool. That was a one-off. Do what's right for you and those around you. Take the money being offered and don't look back. You never know if it's going to be the only chance you get. You've heard both the arguments. They've rested their cases. And now it's time for your input. Do you feel that Lamar should be paid what he wants? Or should he taper down to something more reasonable? There's no wrong answer. Only one where time makes the final judgment. The debate will rage on, yes, but might as well add more fuel to the fire.
It's a 2nd down and 3. Jackson takes it himself. Look at him dart back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles. Now he's got an entourage. And he's got a touchdown. He is Houdini. What a play.